Go and help me. I'm diabetic and I'm struggling to enjoy intimacy with my partner. Go and help me. I have low libido. I'm diabetic. Go and help me. I'm always tired and my partner is fed up with me, fed up with my mood swings. What can I do? I need your help. Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I'm your seasoned medical microbiologist and I'm here to bring you the juice. Today's topic will be having sex with diabetes or high blood sugar. Let's roll it. Welcome back in today's class. Before we dive into our exciting topic for today, let me acknowledge the presence of my viewers and subscribers. I'm here to tell you I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if you have been watching and you've never smashed that subscribe button, please do so. And if you're watching for the first time, please join the family. And I love you too. We all know that diabetes is a very common health challenge that many people are having across the world. And we are having diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2. So let me take you through a summary of what diabetes is all about. The organ pancreas in the body releases a hormone called insulin. And insulin causes the cells in the body to absorb glucose in the blood. Now, when you have diabetes, what happens is that the pancreas doesn't produce as much insulin or doesn't produce insulin at all. Now, that means that there is a lot of glucose in the blood. And what happens? And if this blood sugar isn't controlled, it can cause nerve damage and blood vessel damage in the sex organs, in other organs of the body, and it can also cause cardiovascular issues. When these nerves and blood vessels on the genitals are being damaged or inflamed, what happens is it disrupts the blood flow that happens during sexual arousal. And when that disruption occurs, what happens is there is a decrease in sex drive, decrease in libido. In fact, the individual is always tired. There's little or no orgasms. In fact, there's erectile dysfunction and what have you. So I'm going to take you through how diabetes affects male and female. In women, diabetes is very complicated. In fact, in a woman, she has little or no stimulation or arousal. In fact, the desire to be intimate with her spouse basically is very minimal or doesn't exist. And the lady struggles with vaginal dryness constantly. Vaginal dryness because there is little or no blood flow towards the genitals. This little or no vaginal lubrication can lead to vaginal dryness and also vaginal tears, pain during sex, and bleeding during sex. Women who are going through premenopause and menopause really have a bad experience when they have diabetes. Imagine that as a woman who is menopausal or you are in premenopausal and you already struggle with low levels of estrogen, and then your body automatically enters vaginal dryness mode, coupled with the low estrogen, it becomes so bad for women in that level of their life, in that era of their lives. Women with diabetes struggle with low sex drive and libido. And they are very prone to urinary tract infections, frequent urinary tract infections, and also oral thrush and vaginal thrush. And why does this happen? That's because this high level of glucose that is in the blood becomes a breathing ground for these microorganisms, and they begin to flourish in the vagina. And then with oral thrush, you will notice that they're constantly having a white patch on their tongue, and they are constantly having a cheesy discharge and funny fun of itches around their vulva And in some cases, if they are intimate with their spouse, they will experience pain during sex. Ladies who have diabetes, most of them enter a state of depression. And that state of depression comes in when you have so much anxiety, when you have the urge, when you want to really please your partner, when your partner is in the mood, and you know that you're supposed to satisfy your spouse, and you try and you can't, and you're constantly tired, your body has taken you into a switch off mode, you get frustrated, you get into depression, and in some cases it's suicidal for some ladies. And some ladies who have diabetes are very prone to polycystic ovary syndrome, and this causes hormonal imbalance. Most of them struggle with hormonal imbalance, struggle to get pregnant, struggle to have an ovulation. In most cases, most of them don't have an ovulation. They are going through anovulation. And finally, diabetic neuropathy. And this is the damage of nerves that are around the genitals or on the female genitals. And when this happens, that area becomes numb, and it leads to no orgasms, like no orgasms at all. Now, in a man's case, how does diabetes affect the male? In the male's case, it has a lot to do with his ego as well. Remember that a man in his matrix and his building was built to satisfy his woman and also to provide sexual arousal to his woman. And when a man is unable to get to that point where he satisfies his woman, he enters anxiety mode and then later enters into depression, and in some cases is suicidal. And because a man has some ego, he just shuts down towards sexual intimacy with his spouse. And in this case, it's very important that the man should not give up. The man should know that it's a journey, and the solution to solving this problem starts with little steps. Men who have diabetes struggle with reduced testosterone. Their body does not produce as much testosterone as it ought to. And thirdly, as well, most men struggle with erectile dysfunction. And we are talking about premature ejaculation, no ejaculation, retrograde ejaculation, delayed ejaculation. So different men have different erectile dysfunctions, and this can really damage a man psychologically when he notices that he's constantly experiencing different forms of erectile dysfunction and he cannot help himself. In a man's case, diabetes damages the blood vessels and the nerves that lead to the penis or that are on the penis. And what happens is when they are damaged or inflamed, what happens, there's a disruption of blood flow, and that reduces arousal, that reduces desire, that reduces sex drive and libido in men. Men who have diabetes struggle with diabetic neuropathy, and this is when the nerves that are on the genitals get damaged or get inflamed. And when that happens, is that area becomes numb and no orgasms. It would be very difficult for a man to have an ejaculation and to have an orgasm. Remember that there's a difference between ejaculation and an orgasm. Two different things. And I'll look for that video and leave it at the end screen. There is a big difference between ejaculation and orgasms. Men with diabetes often struggle with low self-esteem. They are often tired. They find it very difficult even approaching their spouse for intimacy. And some of them struggled with recurrent urinary tract infections and oral and penile thrush. And you often see a man with constantly white patch on his tongue, and he will constantly be having itches or fungal accumulation, white patches of accumulation around the tip of his penis. And this is especially if the man is not circumcised. He will struggle with a lot of phimosis and balanitis, and if he's not careful, he may get penile cancer and in the long run get his penis chopped off. So what is the concern about treating diabetes with all the drugs that are on the market? 90% of the drugs that are being taken or that have been prescribed to diabetic patients actually cause depression in the long run, cause fatigue in the long run, cause low sex drive in the long run. So, you're actually with a drug that is supposed to help you, but then one of the downsides of the drugs that are supposed to help normalize your blood sugar is that it makes you to have low sex drive, low libido. And remember that it's not in God's plan that you should be taking, drugs for 365 days a year, all the days of your life while you're on earth. So we have to look for solutions. And so I went through, did some research, and I'm here to bring it to you. The first thing is, whether you're male or you're female, you need to get your partner on board. Whether your partner is diabetic or not, you need to get your partner on board. Diabetes, in some medical research, has been put under the category of those with autoimmune disease. Now, getting your partner on board is not only for the physical help, but also for the emotional help. You don't have to give up. When your partner is involved, two can make a better team, can overcome when you're just alone. You have to open up to your partner. Your partner needs to understand your moods, understand a lot of things. And secondly, you have to deal with unforgiveness, bitterness, pain of the past, grudges, malice that you have with your partner or you have with anybody. You cannot go through this when your heart, when your spirit is heavy, it's burdened. You cannot, if you don't have a free spirit, you cannot heal mentally. You can't heal in your spirit and in your soul. That is the truth about life. So find it in your heart to forgive your spouse first, your children, your mother, your father, but particularly your spouse. Start with your spouse. You need to talk, and also make sure you exercise regularly. Make sure you don't take alcohol. You eat right. Make sure you exercise well. Make sure you maintain a healthy weight. Remember, diabetes and obesity, it's very dangerous. You may lose your life in a twinkle of an eye. Remember, quit smoking. Don't think only about yourself. Think about your children. Think about your spouse. Don't be selfish with your life. Think about it, and you can overcome it. Then the next point is, you have to plan intimacy moments. You have to plan times when you and your spouse are going to be intimate. You have to plan it, program it. And I'll advise you, and that this will lead us to the next point, that you should have sex in the earlier hours of the morning, where your testosterone and estrogen are at its highest levels. Next point, I'm going to advise you to always do blood sugar control before you have sex and after you have sex. Very important, because sex is an exercise, and you may lose a lot of sugar and go into low blood sugar. So it's very important. And most people who are diabetic always end up having high blood pressure. And remember, I explained to you that these high blood sugar levels damages the nerves, damages the blood vessels in the body, and even towards the heart, even some organs in the body, even the organs of the heart. And this may cause cardiovascular issues and health issues. So most people who are diabetic end up with high blood pressure. So you have to monitor both your high blood pressure and both your blood sugar before and after sex, and also plan intimacy moments, plan sex times, travel. Make sure you keep a calm head. Make sure you open your spirit to always forgive, because as long as you live in this world, people will offend you, people will annoy you. And if you don't know how to let go, if you haven't trained yourself to let go, you are always going to be the one suffering, and you may lose your life because of things that you could let go. Next point is, make sure you go through this channel and pick out the recipes that I did particularly for those for high blood sugar. Those recipes were done because some of the viewers and subscribers requested for it, and so I did it for you. So I'm going to leave it at the end screen as well, so you can Make this at home and drink. The active ingredients in these recipes that I have dished out to you are going to help your body produce nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is going to increase blood flow in towards your genitals, and also towards your heart. And you have a higher chance of having a good heart rate and also having orgasms and having increased libido. In fact, most of the ingredients, especially those that contain cloves, can really help you enjoy sex. Please do look at the sexual health benefits of most of the herbs and the fruits I have used or the seeds I have used, and make use of them, incorporate them in your diet, and I'm telling you, high blood sugar or diabetes will be a thing of the past. And if you're a lady, make sure you get water-based or silicone-based lubricants, or a combo of water-based and silicone-based lubricants, and you can use them. And make sure you cuddle more. Make sure you do a lot of foreplay before intimacy. And don't rush. If your wife has got diabetes, remember that down there could be a little bit numb. Down there could be a little bit not what it used to be. So try to incorporate oral sex if you can, or you use the tip of your penis to stimulate her vulva or her clitoris. And also, as a woman, if your husband has diabetes, make sure you do a lot of oral sex. Make sure you stimulate him, you touch him, so that he can get in the mode. And the last point, make sure you train your mind. If you train your mind, your body would follow. The most valuable asset of the human race is the mind. No matter what the doctor is telling you, no matter what your body is telling you, you can tell your body that diabetes, I'm going to conquer you. I'm going to conquer you with my body, soul, my spirit, my mind. I will suppress you and eject you out of my life. Make sure you enter the natural. Take more of herbs, take more of health drinks or tinctures that will boost your immune system. And I'm telling you, diabetes will be a thing of the past. Thank you for joining me in today's class. I remain your seasoned medical professional, Gwendolyn Halle.